The Oworosonki Demolitions, which happened along the Iyana-Oworo and Lekki coastal line in Lagos, is another painful reminder of a hard truth many property buyers still ignore. The Lagos state government has just made it clear that there will be no compensation for the victims or the owners and occupants of the demolished structures. According to the state government, the demolished buildings and structures were erected without physical planning approvals. The demolition exercise, which was led by the Lagos State Building Control Agency, known as LASBAC, that is LASBCA, displaced many residents in Ojulari, Oworosonki, located at Lagos mainland. When some of the affected residents tried protesting by blocking the third mainland bridge, demanding for compensation, the government's response was firm and unequivocal that there will be no compensation. In other words, no compensation for unapproved buildings. Now, wait for a second and understand this. Many of those affected genuinely believed that they had valid properties. Some had purchased with receipts, power of attorneys. Some had deeds of conveyance. Yet bulldozers still didn't spare them, and nothing could stop the bulldozers. Unfortunately, a lot of home buyers stopped their due diligence at confirming that the lands belonged to the seller. Now, I want to repeat, a lot of property buyers, home buyers, they start and stop their due diligence searches by merely confirming that the land upon which the building is developed or the property is sited belongs to the person selling to them. But that is not the end of due diligence. If it were to be undeveloped property, a property upon which there is no structure, you can end your due diligence with confirming that, okay, the title in the property or in the land actually resides in the person selling to you. But when a property is developed, it does no longer start and end with you confirming that, this land belongs to so person. You have to take the next step, especially when you are buying a property that is located in an urban area where you know that development control can never overlook. If you are buying a property in a village, you can as well don't bother asking for, building approval. But once it is an urban area, the development control in that particular state is always vigilant so that the state capital will not be defaced, so that it won't be littered with unstructured, unplanned buildings. Every state capital is the face of that state. So the government is always careful on what is being erected. Once there is building being sited on a plot in an urban area or a designated urban area, you have to find out, is this building sited on this property? Does it have a building plan? Is the building plan approved? If it is of the size that requires a site plan, where is the site plan? Is there approval? These are the necessary things you must do in order to avoid demolition that you won't be compensated. Once the property you are buying is a developed property, in other words, you must ask the seller to produce the building plan approval to you. This is in addition to the proof of ownership, which is the title deed of the property. And if the property is seated on or within up to 1 hectare of land, or the one you are buying is part of that 1 hectare, you must ask of a site plan approval, otherwise called permit. I'm talking of when it is up to 10 plots. Now, when are you entitled to compensation if your building is demolished by the government? The land must be legally yours. One, there must be a planning approval. What is a planning approval? It is different from building plan. I have explained this in one of my previous videos. I would tag it here so that you can watch it. There must be a building approval. As I earlier said, you must not have built on a setback, drainage, coastal line, road corridor, railway or pipeline road, or a buffer zone. The building shouldn't have been dangerous. A building demolished for being dangerous, for instance, a building that has cracks everywhere, so old that its imminent collapse is visible. If government comes in to demolish in order to save people from such an accident, foreseeable accident for that matter, you are not entitled to compensation. So as I've earlier said, the property must be yours. If it is developed, you must have gotten the necessary approvals before the development. These are the things that entitle you towards compensation. And you must not have violated any of the setbacks. The courts have repeatedly held that you cannot be compensated for illegality. So when you violate any of those foregoing conditions, they are illegalities and you can't be compensated for them. Now, you understand why the Lagos state government has unequivocally said that the Oworosonki demolition victims are not entitled to compensation because they built without building approvals, each and every one of them. In case what I'm saying is sounding too technical or you need guidance, especially in the purchase of your first property, Encumberedproperties.com has a due diligence unit. The link to access our due diligence is in the description. Mortgage financing services is also available at Encumberedproperties.com. The tragedy at Oworosonki is not just about the demolition. It's about lack of due diligence. It's about buyers trusting sellers blindly. It's about people investing their life savings without verifications. And sadly, it is a story that repeats itself over and over again across Nigeria. At Encumberedproperties.com, our mission is very simple, but very, very critical to help you avoid encumbered properties, fraudulent claims, and government bulldozers. If you are confused about where to start, if you are worried about investing in a property that may be demolished tomorrow, if you don't want your real estate journey to end in loss, stress, and zero compensation, then you need a structured, practical guide. That is why you need this book, 7 Steps to Acquiring a Clean Property Title. It is a practical checklist. It is designed to walk you step by step through what to verify, where to verify it, which government agencies you should go to, and how to identify red flags before you commit your 1 naira. Real estate is not just about buying land or buildings. It's about buying peace of mind. Don't let your investment become another Oworosonki headline. Share this video for others to learn and beware. Till I bring you the next real estate red alert. I remain Madwe Kenwere. I'm a real estate lawyer. I'm a chief superintendent of police. And by God's grace, the founder, Encumberedproperties.com. Encumberedproperties.com is the only real estate fraud prevention platform where we love you and care about the safety of your real estate investments. Thank you.